Now on ITV, after millions of us headed to the polling booth today to place our votes, where does the country stand? Tom Bradby takes us through the night with Election 2019 Live. The results.
Good evening and welcome to another night in which the future of our country hangs in the balance. We've had 4 big votes in 4 years and arguably not much but drift in between. So will tonight finally give us a clear sense of direction? Or are we determined to be resolute in our indecision? And if we are, what on earth happens then? The leaders have all been out placing their votes today, dodging the rain and encouraging their supporters to get wavering voters, which, let's face it, is an awful lot of us, over the line one way or another. They are now settling in to await the results with the rest of us.
This is the most important election most of us have ever voted in. I've rarely detected so much excitement about politics around the country. And who can be surprised when the future of the nation is at stake?
We have correspondents in every nation and every region tonight who will bring you the results as fast as we can gauge them.
In around an hour's time, we'll get the very first result, an indication perhaps of where the votes are going. But who will declare it first? Will it be here in Sunderland or Newcastle Central?
Well, if the past few elections are anything to go by, this is likely to be an eventful night. And we have assembled what we really believe is the finest team of analysts and experts in the UK. We are joined again by the former Chancellor, George Osborne, and former Shadow Chancellor, Ed Balls, who between them have unrivalled political experience. Chipping in during the course of the night with their analysis will be Ruth Davidson, the Prime Minister's brother, Joe Johnson, and the former Home Secretary, Alan Johnson, amongst many others. We have our long-term political scientist, Professor Colin Rallings, who will be by my side all night, with Allegra Stratton, our battleground expert, and Professor Jane Green, who will be talking us through the target seats and analysing trends on the night and indeed over the course of this decade. And we are opening up our election newsroom, the engine of our operation tonight.
Where better to spend election night than in our special newsroom with some of our key teams and top journalists. Rohit is here, as is Joel, and at the heart of it, Robert, his team, and Anushka from the Peston programme.
Yep, I've brought Screeny with me to track the night's events online and also reveal what's going on under the radar as things unfold.
We should also mention we'll be using an unrivalled number of analytical tools which allow us to share the thinking of our political scientists behind the scenes as the night evolves. But right now, we are obviously waiting for the countdown to 10 p.m. when we can reveal the all-important exit poll conducted in conjunction with the other main UK broadcasters. As you can see on the screen, we now have less than 2 minutes until we get to the result of the joint broadcasters' exit poll. It does have an unrivalled track record, but why? Well, there's the scale of it for a start. Tens of thousands of voters at 144 polling stations across the country are chosen at random as they leave. Unlike everyday opinion polls, the exit poll is asking real voters who've already cast their ballot to replicate exactly what they did in the booth. By returning largely to the same locations every election, the exit poll tracks the changes in how constituencies have voted in comparison to previous years and how the different parties have fared. Colin, I think it's probably fair to say it's been accurate more or less since 1992.
Yes, that's right, Tom, but remember, it's a poll. It's a different sort of poll, but it's a poll, it's a statistical exercise, therefore it has a margin of error. And in 2015, we came on air suggesting it would be a hung parliament, and as the results came in, it became clear that David Cameron was actually going to get an overall majority. So it's likely that the seat estimates will wander up and down through the night for all the parties, but if the result is clear-cut, that's going to matter less. If it's close, then you really do need to keep a watch on what's going on as each single result comes in.
Is there anything we need to be mindful of that might have affected it, the weather?
Yes, I mean, it's been a pretty poor day in many parts of the country, and it could be that turnout in some places is down, though we've heard reports of queues in other parts of the country. No, I don't think so. We should be OK, and it'd be very disappointing if it didn't at least give us a picture of the traffic of the night and how we're going to end up in the, 6 o'clock in the morning.
OK, well, as you can see probably from your screens, we do not have very long to wait. This is an enormous moment in British politics. In 2015, all the polls were wrong. In 2017, they were wrong again. And here we are. Theresa May went to the country to try and get a majority. She failed. Boris Johnson has rolled the dice again in an attempt to do the same. Has he been more successful? It is now 10 o'clock and we can reveal the full details of the Joint Broadcasters exit poll, which is predicting a large Conservative majority. The Tories are projected to win 368 seats. Labour, a dismal 191, a very large drop from last time. The Lib Dems, 13, more or less the same. The Brexit Party, none at all, and the SNP. And here may be the other big story of the night. 55. So, if the exit poll is correct, we are looking at the biggest Tory majority since Margaret Thatcher in 1987. The Tories would be up 50, Labour down 71, the Lib Dems up just 1 from 2017, but well down on the number they had when the election was called. The Greens are predicted to hold on to their 1 seat, Plaid down 1, and the SNP up 20. So what might that mean for the Union? Colin, another... I don't know, we're making
another shocker, Tom, isn't it?
Another slightly
Absolutely.
Stunning result.
But funnily enough, I mean, I think people will probably get fed up with the Prime Minister's mantra, get Brexit done, but this turned out to be the Brexit election. It's quite clear that the Conservatives have done best in the areas which voted most heavily to leave 3 years ago.